Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Famous ACME Comedy Hollywood and tonight's stand-up workshop graduate showcase. And now, please welcome to the stage. You've seen her on The Tonight Show. She's entertained the troops overseas, and she is the instructor for this class. Give it up for Jodi Miller.
Keep it going, guys. Come on. Okay, I'm gonna bring out your host for the evening. I'm not doing any stand-up. I'm just gonna get drunk and watch with the rest of you guys and be proud. I have to honestly say, I'm so proud of all these guys. They honestly did so much work. You have no idea. They really put the work in, and they're all incredibly funny, and I'm honored to have worked with them. But I'm going to bring up your host for the evening. First of all, let's just get a round of applause for Chip Darnell, who is taping in the back, who's been with us every show. Let's give him a round of applause. Also know, if you need to go to the bathroom or you need to get a drink, feel free. You can totally go. You're not trapped. I'm going to bring up your host for the evening. I've worked with him countless times. We're both regulars in many clubs around the city. He's toured all over the world. He's the host of Schmoes Knows movie reviews. He's all over the internet in a good way, not in a seedy way. And he's done many of these shows. He's absolutely funny. Put your hands together for Mark Ellis.
Thank you. Jodi Miller, ladies and gentlemen. How about it for Jodi? Let her hear it. The greatest teacher I know. The basis for the movie Dangerous Minds, Jodi Miller. How are you guys? Good? Is everybody excited? We got some new people doing stand-up for the very first time. You guys ready? This is going to be exciting. Let me tell you guys about my day real quick. I am very, very excited because I like when I get to meet new comedians because I've been doing stand-up comedy 9 years, and today was the day that Mark Ellis finally bought his first new car. Thank you, guys. It's right there. Been doing it with it all day. That's right, ladies. It's a Ford Fusion. You're welcome. I'm very excited about it. I had to get rid of my old car. I didn't want to. I love this Chrysler. I had it for years. But you know when your car is about to die because your car knows it's about to die, right? It's kind of like a pet that's getting older. It knows when it's about to go. And my car, I was driving it to Vegas. That's when I figured out that my car is about to die because it would start shaking, getting nervous. My car is fine driving like from here to 7-Eleven, okay? It's good in town. As soon as it goes out of town, that's when it all starts to go to shit. My car basically has the long-range capabilities of a North Korean rocket. That's how it works. Did everybody hear where the North Korean rocket they launched ended up? They don't know either. Nobody knows. They shot it up, Acme, they got it from Wile E. Coyote. It was a weird situation. There is some good news in the world, though. This actually happened a couple months ago. There was a 98-year-old woman that just graduated from college. That's true, 98 years old. Somebody turned 92 and was like, I gotta get my life together. Where are you going on spring break, Mildred? Heaven? Is that your destination? Let me tell you guys something. When you're in your 90s, you don't have to go to class, okay? You already live like a college kid, right? Because you have the same schedule. You get up, you get high, you watch The Price is Right, you go back to bed. That's all you do. How do you even teach someone that old? You'd be the professor like, okay, kids, you do a paper on Ernest Hemingway. Millie, you're cool. Because she may have actually slept with Ernest Hemingway. We don't know. She turned him into a gay wrestler. It's good to see you guys here tonight. This is going to be fun. It's a smaller crowd. It's an intimate feel. That's what we say in stand-up. It's never a small crowd. It's intimate. We're going to get to know each other. Like, for instance, how do you guys all know each other? The 4 people right here. It's 3 black people and 1 very scared Asian. Is that what I'm reading right now? Is that... She's with... All right, she's in. She's in. All right, cool. Now, how do you guys all know each other? Please tell me you fight crime together. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear their superhero costume under here. Not like the Grauman's Chinese theater superheroes. I want you guys to be the real deal. All right, cool. Do you guys all work together? Are you friends? Did you grow up together? You guys work together. That's you're married to that guy? One man. All right, like it. And then you guys work together, so she knows all the shit about you that you didn't want getting out, right? That's right. At the lunchroom conversation, it's all about your performance in the bedroom the night before, sir. There you go. And then you work with all of them? Okay, cool. What do you guys do? Oh, that's where it gets mushy. All right. They sell drugs behind Denny's. That's the job, everybody. That's what we're looking at. I don't know, and I'm sure you guys make a good living doing whatever you do. I went to college for 4 long years. By round of applause, how many people in this room are college educated? Do we have? Okay. I'd like to point one thing out real quick. I said round of applause. She raised her hand, so I don't know where you went to school. I'm sure it was a delightful vocational opportunity what you took. I basically should have done that because I majored in communications. I don't know if anybody picked that one, but communications, that's basically the university level certificate of participation. That's all that is. When you get your diploma in the comm, the guy has no idea what to tell you. He's like, good luck at Applebee's? I don't know what to say. This is true. When I graduated college, I was actually jealous of all those kids that go to like DeVry, ITT Tech. Have you seen those commercials? They get out of school in what, 11 days, and they have a job, a wife, a kid, they're happy. I went to school for 4 long years. When I graduated, what was my life goal? Get on Double Dare. I don't care how it happens. I didn't smoke pot in college. That's really weird. Do you smoke a lot of pot, sir? You're wearing a Flynn's Arcade shirt from the movie Tron. I'm pretty sure you've gotten high once or twice in your life. Or you've at least sold it to minors while they're playing Pitfall Harry. You don't get high at all. Very interesting. You know what? People think I get high all the time, too, because I kind of have, like, you know, these tired eyes. You know, I'm like a really sleepy white guy or a really excited Asian. Those are my 2 options. But I don't get high, and that's really rare for a comedian to not smoke pot. That's very rare. That's like living in Wisconsin and being lactose intolerant. It doesn't even make sense. But I believe what they taught us in school about pot. You guys remember that? They sit you down in school, like middle school, and they say, kids, don't smoke marijuana. Why? Because marijuana is what? A gateway drug. Right? It's a gateway drug. It leads to other things. Yeah, like what? Pussy and free guitar lessons? Is that what you're talking about? I watched my friends walk through that gateway all night long. Not me. I'm a big drinker. That's my big vice. I'm a huge drinker, and I've been drinking a long time. I've been drinking daiquiris since my mom was pregnant with me. That's a long time to be drinking. Drinking's a lot more dangerous than getting high, too. Like, if you go home, you get high tonight, what's the worst thing that happens to you? You watch Discovery Channel, you learn something about turtles you never knew before. Worst case scenario, but if you go home, you get drunk and watch Discovery Channel, look out, because crazy stuff's about to happen. Right? Because you don't know what anything. You wake up the next day, you're like, dude, I just got an email from Expedia confirming my trip to the Galapagos Islands. I watch a lot of TV, and I judge some TV. I do. I get mad. I was watching TV today, and look, I'm all for fake tanning because we live in Southern California. Somebody has to tell Papa John to stop, okay? Is he sleeping in the pizza ovens? Why is Papa John orange now? That shouldn't be. What's even worse than the new Papa John's ads? Have you guys seen the new Domino's ads? What happened to Domino's? Domino's used to have attitude. Now their whole ad campaign is they come on TV and they apologize for making shitty pizza for the last 30 years. Hey, we're Domino's. We are sorry. We had no idea it tasted like that. Domino's used to have attitude with their commercials. Is anybody old enough to remember Domino's Guarantee? They said that your pizza is going to be at your house in 30 minutes or less, or it's free. How great was that? And those commercials were awesome because Domino's came on TV tough. They'd be like, hey, we're Domino's. What do? Make pizza. Is it good? It's all right. But it'll be there in half an hour or less. Come hell or high water. I don't care if all 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, hell, all 4 Ninja Turtles could attack our drivers. Every one of our men has a shotgun and a nitrous oxide boost in their 86 Geo Metro. So you get hungry and you tell the Noid to look out because we're Domino's. We're coming. Hell's coming with us. Fast food's going downhill in general. This is true. There's a woman right now. She's trying to sue Taco Bell. Yeah, I know. It's scary for guys, right? She's trying to sue Taco Bell 2 weeks after they invent the Dorito shell. What the hell's your problem, lady? And I'm sorry, this is only a batshit crazy woman that would try to sue Taco Bell, right? You guys had a tough year. Your leader, Oprah, stepped down. You don't know what to do anymore. It's nerve-wracking, but don't sue Taco Bell. The whole basis of her lawsuit is that Taco Bell's not serving real ground beef. We know. It's 99 cents for a pound of that. Did you ever think they were sliding Kobe beef inside your burrito? And I'm telling you, ladies, no guy in this room would ever sue Taco Bell, right? Because we know how good we have it there. Listen up, okay? Our dollar isn't worth anything overseas, but every time an American walks into a Taco Bell, a buck still means something. Right? You walk into Taco Bell with 10 bucks, congrats. You're now the president of Taco Bell for the next 15 minutes. I have fun, dude. I bring in 40 singles, jump on the counter, and make it rain like I'm 50 Cent at a club. I'm just grabbing straw, spraying it on chicks. They're rubbing it, loving it. It's fun at Taco Bell. So I'm single. What? No, really. I am. I know. That's shocking. I have a long-distance girlfriend, so I don't know if that counts. Very, very long distance. I live here in Hollywood. My hot girlfriend, she lives in Narnia. That's a long ways, guys. It's bad when everybody can look at you. They already know you're single. Everybody can tell. I walk into an STD clinic, they're like, dude, you don't have anything. All right? You can't catch herpes watching Battlestar Galactica in your parents' basement. You're good to go. It's tough. Don't you think it's tougher for guys to date in 2012 than it is for women? Like, let's say you guys, for example. How'd you guys meet? Mutual friend. Is she here tonight? No, okay. And then the mutual friend was like, hey, dude, you got to get on this? Or was it like, oh, yeah, she's very nice. You should take her out?
No, we were next door neighbors.
You were next door neighbors? This is like a romantic comedy in 1989. That doesn't happen today, really. How long ago did you guys get together?
We've been together almost
10 years. So give them a round of applause, everybody. 10. It doesn't work like that. I'm telling you, man, in 2012, it's a lot harder for guys to meet girls. It's the whole relationship is a lot harder for guys now, so take it easy on them, okay? Let's look at breakups, for example. If she ever gets dumped, God forbid, it's going to be okay, right? Because when a woman gets dumped, all your friends support you. They're there as soon as it happens. They pull up in a van like it's a bank heist or something. And they'll bring whatever you need. Chocolate, flowers, The Secret, whatever mama needs to get her through. Not guys. When guys get dumped, there's 3 levels. Bar, strip club, jail. That's how it works. Your buddies try to cheer you up. They're like, dude, you're going to save so much money. Last time I got dumped, that's the advice my dude, you're going to save so much money, now you have to spend it on her. I'm like, save money? I just spent $200 on binoculars and camouflage. Bass Pro Shops was having a get her back sale, and I used my frequent stalker card. This is the advice I get from all my married buddies. So, like, dude, Mark, you got to hook up with an older woman, man. Hook up with a cougar. You ever hook up with a cougar, Junior? Yep. And what do you hear about cougars? They're great in bed. And that's awesome. What worries me, how did they get that good? Because you start thinking about it, you're like, wait. Nobody just wakes up the star or Cirque du Soleil. That takes years and years of practice. You know, when you hook up with a cougar, it's intimidating because you go back to her place and it feels like you're walking into old Yankee Stadium for the very first time. Because you're just thinking about all the greats that have played here before you. She's got jerseys retired in her living room. There's a sign above her bedroom door that says, play like a champion today, and you got to slap it. That's how you got to do it, though. You got to date an older woman, right? You can't date a young girl. I'm sorry. I can't date a girl that still has hopes and dreams and goals. So you're out on a date with them, they start talking about what they want to do with their summer, and I'm like, okay, look, settle down, kiddo. I hope you sell a lot of cookies and win that trip to space camp. I really do. Call me when you're done with Twilight. That's what all they're in. That's what all the little girls are into now. They love Twilight. They don't want to date a nice guy. They want to date a vampire or a werewolf, something like that. Okay, and that kills it for guys like me. Look at me. I'm not evil. I'm not mean. I'm sweet. I'm sensitive. I'm cute in a he may have special needs kind of way. And I'm from a great land, a great part of America known as the South. Is anybody else from the South here? By a round of applause. Good. Thank you guys. Good night. You raise your hand though. You're from the South. Yeah, kind of. You don't want to admit it, but yeah, you spent time. What part of the South are you from?
East Texas.
Houston, Texas. I was in Houston. That's a great town. Very cosmopolitan. A lot of cougars in Houston. There's a lot of Asian cougars in Texas. Or as I call them, Bengal tigers. It's a fun city. It really is. I grew up in Virginia. So Virginia, that's a good South, right? We like fireworks. We can also read. It's a good mix of everything the South has to offer. And I grew up in a town called Colonial Williamsburg. Okay, Colonial Williamsburg, the whole town is like the 1600s. Right? It's funny because they built it, they got to like 1690, and they're like, all right, screw it. No one's ever building a city better than that. We're done. And then everybody built a city better than that. And so now what Williamsburg is trying to do, they're trying to put new modern stuff in with the old stuff. I'm not making this up. I went home for Christmas. They have put a Hooters in the middle of Colonial Williamsburg. How awesome is that, right? But you don't call it Hooters there. You make it blend in. You call it Ye Old Tit Shack or something like that. And again, the guys, we're really excited because in Williamsburg, guys haven't seen a hot chick that looks like a stripper since Pocahontas. And that's a creepy story as it turns out because Pocahontas, she was only 11 years old when she was hooking up with John Smith. Yeah, it does work today, right? That's today, 2012. John Smith is looking for some ass. He gets up to the teepee. He's like, hey, Pocahontas, you home? And Chris Hansen from Dateline to Catch a Predator comes out to greet him. My name is Mark Ellis. Thank you guys very much, everyone. Thank you guys. Like I said, this is a really exciting show for me. I like watching young people. These guys are all very, very talented. Jodi is the best teacher in the business, and they're here to showcase their new skills for you guys tonight. By a round of applause, is everybody ready to see a great show tonight? Let's hear you, Acme Comedy Theater. All right. I would call that a yes. This first young man I'm bringing to the stage, he is actually a local. He's from Los Angeles. The good part about that, he still has a soul. Guys, please welcome Mr. Adam Targan. Let him hear it, everybody.
Hi.
Hey. How's everyone doing? Good. Yeah, like he said, I'm from LA, so it's good to be back in LA. It's good to be home, literally home with my parents. The same place where I was pretty much 7 years ago. So we don't really need to talk about what I've accomplished or not accomplished in my life up to this point. It's kind of a sore subject. Not really. I just haven't really done anything. Anyway, so I was really bumming like when I first moved back to LA because it was like a transition period, I guess you could call it. I don't know. It made me feel better. It's like a cool euphemism. And transition to what? I didn't really know. And then I was laying on the couch one day, like just doing nothing important, like at all. And my mom walks by and she's like, Adam. And I'm like, yeah, Mom. Because you always try to look like busy when you're living with your parents because like you don't want to like have them walk in and be like, what are you doing? So I was, yeah, Mom. She's like, you look really good in sweatpants. And I was like, first of all, what does that mean? Second of all, if you look the part, you got to be the part. So I feel like I'm 50% of the way there. I'm just going to be a piece of shit for the rest of my life. I'm just going to be that, if you can be that. So I did the next logical step. I started smoking weed. Sorry. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. And really, smoking weed is just like coming to terms with the fact that you're a piece of shit. Because it's just like, because with weed, it's like a lifestyle choice. You know what I mean? Because everyone's a piece of shit at a certain point in time. And it's really just like going to the gym, just like a lifestyle choice, like going to the gym. It's just doing like the exact opposite. So you pretty much designate like a few 45-minute sessions a week to just like be a piece of shit. Because pretty much with weed, you're high immediately, right? And so you're instantly a piece of shit. So you're instantly allowed to sit around and do nothing for like 45 minutes. And then it wears off and you're like, oh, I'm good to go again. Like, here we go. Great. But without something like alcohol, it's a little bit different. You progressively become a piece of shit as the night goes on. You have a couple drinks at first, you're talkative and blah, 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 blah. And then before you know it, you're waking up in bed with a really sore mouth, and not because of that, because you thought it was a good idea to put in your retainer that you haven't worn for 14 years before you went to sleep. And whatever, it fit. Somehow, you did it. It worked. Because I feel like alcohol makes you feel like you can do things that you just have no business trying at all. Like that retainer thing. But like weed, it's kind of like the exact opposite. It makes you think that you can't do things that are just like really easy to do. Like the worst thing that happens when I smoke weed, I'll be like 20 minutes late, like meeting my parents for dinner because I got accidentally too high and like convinced myself that I can't eat dinner for whatever reason. But yeah, I'm back in LA. I guess just to tell you the reason I wasn't smoking weed before, I went to rehab about 5 years ago when I was 19. So I was a little bit, pissed off at first. I was sober for the past 5 years. Thanks. Thank you. Thanks. It was a really good experience. I got to watch all you assholes just be drunk all the time. And you guys are so dumb. It's so funny. You have no idea how dumb you are. Just wait. It's going to be great. Anyway. So yeah, I was sober for the past 5 years, and I was really pissed at first because I was like, fuck, like I'm missing out on college, all this shit. And then I was like, wait. I'm from West LA. Anybody else from West LA here? Yeah. Born in West LA? Yeah? Cool. So we're not doing bad. We're like okay. Like we're getting by. We're not like drinking City Punch or anything like that. And I was like, you know what? This is kind of like a rite of passage in LA. There's like one kid per family that goes. So I'll just be that kid for my family, and my whole family can just like live vicariously or just do the rehab vicariously through me. I'll just be the grenade for everybody. So that's what I did, and I was thinking, and I was like, wait, I never had a bar mitzvah party either. So I'm just going to kind of make this whole rehab thing like a really late bar mitzvah party. Because it's the exact same thing if you think about it. I mean, you can't drink. There's like a lot of really awkward sexual tension that you're not allowed to healthily act on. And they read out of these books, you don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and you just don't give a shit either. It's pretty much the same thing. But I am Jewish. I'm half Jewish, actually. So yeah, so I'm wealthy, but I'm not neurotic, which is good. So I kind of got the best of both worlds. And I believe in Jewish customs. I think it's really important. So I am circumcised. Thank you, Mom. Is anyone here not circumcised? Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I don't know what parents these days are like, you know what, doctor? I think we're just going to stick with the whole windsock anteater look. I just kind of like that look a little bit better. But the problem with me, I'm over-circumcised, which is kind of weird if you think about it. You're like, wait, what? My guy got a little too ambitious. He got like a little too avant-garde with what he wanted to do, and that's fine. You know, if you're a mohel, your job's probably really boring anyway. And so now, I don't know. Are you guys all familiar with like penile anatomy? Because so someone was like, yeah, woo! It was a guy too. I like that. Anyway, when penile anatomy, if you're circumcised and you're flaccid, you're supposed to have like a little foreskin left over, right? I don't have that foreskin, and I have really small balls too. So my dick is just like perched on top of my balls, like a gargoyle, just like staring at you, and it's so off-putting. It's so gross, and because it's sticking out, girls think I'm like ready to go way before I am ready to go. So I have to pretend that like I'm ready to go and like awkwardly like, yeah, like soft serve them when you're still soft, but you're like trying to go, you know? But my friends all want tattoos, and there's really nothing I want like a tattoo of. I don't care about anything in this world enough to watch it like jiggle on my body for the next 50 years while I brush my teeth. That doesn't really interest me. But I was like, you know what? I don't want like body art, because like whatever. But I'll take like a useful tattoo. So I was thinking, why not just get a tattoo on the inside of like what little foreskin I have left that says, if you can read this, please insert. Because I think that'll just make it a lot easier. There's no like ambivalence about like, is he hard? Is he ready to go? Should I get the condom? Should I put it on? You just know right away. But I was in a relationship I think it was like a couple years now. It's always going to be like a year ago for the next like 4 years, and then I'll just be like, oh. But I was in a relationship, and I was way too immature for the relationship. I wasn't ready, or some people say mature, which is so fucking annoying, because just say mature. It's not like a long U or whatever. Anyway. And I think I'm a little more mature. I think I'm ready for a relationship again, because I don't watch porno anymore for the sex. I watch porno for the relationships. Thank you very much. Because I don't think there's really any humanity left in porno these days. I'm searching. I'm looking for the last vestige of humanity, because if even these titles alone, if you read some of these, I was just like browsing, seriously, just browsing, and I came across this title, and it said, "Sluts swap cum at bizarre bukkake orgy." Now, I can pretty much masturbate to that title without even watching the video. I don't really need to know how it went down, how these people know each other, I don't care. I can masturbate to that. But I miss the old days, you know? I miss the old days where there was, the good old titles. Ass Backwards. That was the first porno I ever watched. Found it in my brother's room. Schindler's Fist. Also a fantastic porno. Gripping and rich. I recommend it. It goes from both sides of the spectrum of human emotion. It's really lovely. So I figured that the only remedy really to this whole lack of humanity in porno, I'm just gonna watch strictly amateur porno. And some of my friends know that I like amateur porno. Can we hear it for amateur porno? Yeah. I heard Harley there. Cool. He knows. Yeah. Amateur porno, because I feel like amateur porno is the last vestige of humanity in porno. I feel like it's the window to the soul. Because what is it really? And I mean like truly amateur porno. I don't mean this like, oh, I stumbled into this guy's van and like, oh, I guess he wants that. No, I'm talking about a couple that's presumably in love, that records themselves having sex just because they want to share it with the world because it's so beautiful. And I get to be a part of that. And I think that's lovely. I think that's lovely. And that's really what I want in a girlfriend, I was thinking. Is what I like in porno is what I like in a relationship. I think it's a girl that's insecure enough to have sex with me and then let me like show the video to a ton of my friends. It's so awesome. And I've also been watching threesomes as well. Not two guys and a girl. Fuck that. I'm talking two girls and a guy. Because thank God for physics, the penis can only be in one hole at once. I don't know if you guys knew that, but it can. So that means there's always a girl that's just not in on the action. And it's just so awkwardly like pretending like she's busy and like trying to look sexy at the same time. And it's just so awkward. And you feel bad for her. And if you look really close, sometimes, it's kind of like if you see like the boom mic come down in a movie and you like elbow your friend, you're like, hey, blooper, check it out, dude. Like some people in like old Star Trek episodes, I guess. You can see her just become completely self-aware and self-conscious about what she's done with her life up to this point because she's just looking at two people having sex. And you can see, if you look real close, you can see her soul just drain out of her body. And it's so encouraging. Because I could be that. I could be the odd man out in a threesome. You never know. But I was hoping you guys could help me kind of solve a mystery I've been kind of... something I just don't understand. Blowjobs, if you can help me with that. And let me phrase what I was saying. I mean a blowjob. I don't mean like a little bit of oral before sex. I mean like the full job. Because that's what it is. It's called a blowjob. It's a job. You don't want to do it. You're like, oh, fuck. I like start to finish. Great. I don't understand why you guys do something, and by you guys, I mean all you wonderful ladies out there. I don't understand why you do something where the only thing you get in return is a mouthful of spunk and like my last piece of Orbit gum, which is always so annoying, and just the stupid smile on my face for the next 20 minutes. That's all you get. It's totally not worth. I feel like I owe you something. Like I feel bad. It's like prison currency. Like I owe you like 12 cigarettes now or something, or like I'm now your bitch even though you sucked my dick. I just feel bad. But and girls are always like, well, you like going down on girls, and I'm like, yeah, and they're like, well, it's the same thing, and I'm like, no, it's not, because when you go down on a girl, there's like a 99% chance afterwards you're gonna have sex, which rocks. And the 1% that hasn't happened, I've just like really fucked up and panicked, and the only thing I could do was just go down on it really quick because I didn't know what else to do. But I have been watching a lot of CSI because I've had a stupid amount of time on my hands. And I decided to treat it like a mystery on CSI. So just like they do, I went with the facts. And I remembered every single time a girl has done a blowjob, for this discussion, we all know what I'm talking about. And it was, whatever. And I cross correlated the timelines like they do. And I was actually able to pull off of enough of a correlation to actually establish a motive. That's right, we're talking blowjob in the first degree here. Because it's not an act of passion. Don't tell me that, oh, I just wanted to because I love you. No, give me a back rub if you love me. You know what I mean? And because I see your look when, like, right before I whip it out, and it's just one of, like, do you guys ever have a grandparent that, like, falls asleep in the middle of the day, and you walk in on them napping, and you're really worried for a sec because you're scared they might be dead? And then you go up to them, and you, like, see them breathing, you're like, oh, okay, cool, thanks. It's the same look on a girl's face 3 seconds before I whip it out. She's like, oh, God, what is it going to look like? Oh, God. And then I take it out, and she's like, oh, thank God. And like a little uncertain about it, and I feel bad because it's the last thing a girl sees. It should be the first thing. I feel bad. Like there's nothing you can do at that point. After you see what I got, that's it. You've gone too far. You know what I mean? There's nothing else you can do. Yeah. So yeah, CSI, and really, I came down to a pretty good conclusion, I think. So this is what I gathered. This is what the data I extrapolated from the data, whatever it is. Dad, you're a scientist, however you do it. So the perp in this case did said act after the third date in every case, in most cases, I should say. So that was like the biggest crossover. So I came up with this theory. So okay, the first date, you're meeting the guy, you're seeing if he's nice, all that cool stuff. Second date, obviously you liked him or you wouldn't go on the second date, so obviously you're looking for a kiss or maybe a little under the shirt, over the bra action, or under the bra, I don't know what kind of girl you are, or maybe let him finger or something like that. And then the third date. The blowjob date, according to my findings. And what I surmise is that it just means that just because of this data, we know that the girl's just sitting there the whole time, just based on, past patterns. The girl has to be sitting during the date the whole time, just like watching me stuff my face. Well, not even like trying to be like alluring or anything like that. And she's just like, I'm gonna find out what this guy's dick tastes like tonight. Great, cool. But yeah, I am back in LA, and I'm single, so I guess I'm dating now. I don't know. I don't hate like that I'm dating. Anyway, but I can't. First of all, ladies, I'm very sorry to the standards that we hold you guys to. It's so gross. Like I'm in a bar with my friends, and some girl walks by, and he's like, "Dude, she's like a 6," and my friend's like, "Nah, like I'd go 5," and it's like, fuck you, man. I don't. Who are you to like judge these girls? I don't have a rating system. For me, it's a girl I would love to have sex with, or a girl that I would have sex with and not tell my friends about. It's pretty much, it's a binary thing. It's like a 0 or a 1. There's no like 10 scale. Yeah, because I feel like hitting on girls or talking to girls, I just hate doing it. And it's not because I'm nervous. It's just because it feels so disingenuous. Like I'm conning you into something or something like that. Because I can't actually walk up to a girl and like actually start a conversation. Like, hey, this is what I have to say. What do you have to say about what I have to say? It just doesn't work like that. I'm walking up to a girl saying hi, hoping that she says hi back. And then anything that happens after that is like totally her fault. Like I'm just trying to get away with whatever I can get away with. You know what I mean? Because there's this saying, it's an old adage, I'm sure you've heard it. Love and relationships are like a fart. If you force them, they're probably going to be shit. And it's true. You just can't force a relationship. You have to be genuine with it. And I really believe that. And speaking of just being genuine with a relationship, I also hate having sex. I decided that probably sounds weird, but let me explain. I like masturbating more to thoughts of my previously having sex than actually having sex. So when I'm out, talking to girls, the only reason I talk to girls is to have sex, so I then have something to later masturbate to. Unless I've, for some weird reason, recently had sex, and then I'll just talk to a girl because I'm really just looking for a yes at the end of the day. So I'm thinking that my new pickup line should just be, hey, sorry to bother you, just like really hypothetically and superficially, would you consider having sex with me? And all I'm looking for is a yeah. And then if they say yeah, I'm like, great. Because I'm not like autistic when I remember these past sexual dalliances. I don't remember like every detail. I pretty much get down to like position sequence, and then you can just like swap faces out from there. And so I'm just gonna be like, hey, would you hypothetically, yeah, you would. Yeah? Okay, great. Let me just take a few mental pictures really quick and I'll be on my way. Thanks a lot. Because that way you don't have to worry about like choreographing positions or anything like that. And like if you accidentally like take your pants off over your shoe, but you have to look like cool doing it. So you're like, and it just doesn't work. And the best part about the whole thing, I can keep my socks on the entire time and I don't have to answer any questions about it, which is the best. All right, guys, my name's Adam. Thanks a lot. Have a great night, all right?
Give it
everybody. Let him hear it. Adam, masturbating to memory, ladies and gentlemen. He's whacking it to reruns. That's what he's doing. If there was any romance left in Fellatio, he just ended it right there. Modern day John Keats. One more time for Adam. Let him hear it, guys. There he is. All right, we're going to keep the show rolling. We have another very funny young man coming to the stage, originally from the great city that brought us Rocky, Philadelphia. Please welcome to the stage, Therian Kagan, everybody. Let him hear it. Therian Kagan, there he is, everybody.
Hey, guys. Hey. How you doing? Good. Good to see you. Yeah, my name's Therian. Don't try to pronounce it. We rehearsed backstage a bunch of times, but having a name like this, it's right away you're interesting. Especially being from Southern California. I pity some poor bastard from Kentucky with a name like George Clooney. But I am adopted. I've never seen a copy of my original birth certificate, so obviously I'm from Kenya. I don't even know for sure what my nationality is. Nationality, American. I was born in Philadelphia. I'm an American, right? These people call themselves German and Irish. If you go to Germany or Ireland, they're going to call you American. I can't be 100% sure of my racial makeup either, but obviously my Zulu and Mongolian traits are recessive. I was raised by Mexicans. On the East Coast, we call them Italians. Yeah, we fixed our own cars, cut our own grass. What's with these people blasting their music? I heard some of that, Italians, the derogatory term they call us WOPs, W-O-P, without papers. We know how to say WOP in Spanish, right? Undocumented. Hey, here's something you can only say once every 10 years. Your Los Angeles Kings are in the second round of the playoffs. All right. Yeah, man, and during the hockey playoffs, it's tradition for the hockey players to grow beards, right? And so this year the Kings are having a beard drive. It's some kind of charity thing where people can sponsor your facial hair as you grow your beard along with the Kings as they make the run through the Stanley Cup playoffs. Now, usually the Kings aren't in the playoffs long enough for Kim Kardashian to have to wax her lip. But right about now she's looking like Zach Galifianakis. Have you ever noticed that people who say don't force your beliefs on me have no problem forcing their beliefs on you? Yeah, it's like some football player does this. And we're headed for theocracy, right? But these same people have no problem with the overkill around like Earth Day. Put it in kids' movies and NBC in their Green Week. I was watching the hockey playoffs on NBC, and they had the green peacock up there on the screen. I was watching on Earth Day, and they had it up there to raise awareness. It's like, yeah, I'm aware of all the coal you dug out of the ground to light the arena where you run the generator to keep the ice frozen in May in Los Angeles, so you could berate us for leaving a lamp on in the living room. Yeah, guy, But anybody see the Lorax? Yeah, you didn't miss much. Oh, okay. But did you see Wall-E? Yes. Okay, if you saw Wall-E, you saw the Lorax. It was the same movie. So I said, all the trees are dead, and some boy has to go out and get one to impress some girl. Way to brainwash your kids. If you go around planting trees, you'll get all the girls. Do you hear that, Mexican landscapers? You have to beat them off with a broom, It's like on the weekends, all the hotties are cruising the Home Depot parking lot. I wish they would stop lying about killing off all the trees. It's not going to happen, ever. I have to get a shot once a month because I'm allergic to pollen. You know what pollen is? Tree sperm. Okay? All my asthma symptoms, that's a tree busting a nut in my face. Real nice. So these are the horniest life forms in existence. It's getting stuck with a needle every month because some horny-ass eucalyptus is tugging out to a redwood, And, in science fiction and in books and movies, trees are portrayed as these grand old men. No, there are a bunch of Charlie Sheens running around out there, man. Winning! I don't know why they had to go with Earth Day. They had Arbor Day. There's nothing wrong with Arbor Day. You remember Arbor Day. There was a Charlie Brown special. Charlie Brown planted the tree. And the tree fucked the little red-haired girl. Maybe that was a Valentine's special. I might be confused. But you ever notice that atheists went off on religious holidays? Don't force your beliefs on me unless I can milk it for a 3-day weekend. Well, I don't want to call them hypocrites. Yeah, I do. Yeah. I don't blame atheists that much because I'm a recovering Catholic like any good Mexican. 8 years of Catholic school survivor. worst experience ever, man. It's like I ended up hating God out of that experience. I was like, you know, I used to think God was guilty of the worst case of child abuse in human history. You know, it's like, where was Child Protective Services then? Yahweh, it's Artemis. We've come for your son. But I go to a Christian church now. You know, nice Christian. You know, I'm comfortable there, but people still judge me a little bit. You know, my vocabulary raises some eyebrows, and you know, they say things like, "I wish you wouldn't curse so much. You know, you catch more bees with honey than with vinegar." I'm like, who the fuck wants to catch bees? Okay, it's like, yeah, I really hope they nest above my front door this year. Okay, it's like, anybody allergic to bee stings? We don't want to attract them. We want to kill them. We want them all dead. You know. But if you kill all the bees, then the flowers can't fuck. Let them fuck the trees, you know? I'm sorry. I'm a little bit edgy. You know, I recently quit dating. I quit dating, okay? My white flag is high in the air, just done, you know? My first clue was in college when one of my female friends said to me that the most attractive thing about a man is a girlfriend. There's something like, women are like jobs. You can't get one unless you already have one. You only see people by referral, you know. So I did a little online dating. I couldn't really meet people in the real world, you know, these people and their rules, you know. I don't date guys I work with. I don't date guys who wear Birkenstocks. I don't date guys who come up to me and just say hi. It just seems desperate. I don't date guys I meet in bars or at the grocery store or the bookstore or the coffee shop. It's like, the only way to meet a woman is if you never leave the house. So yeah, I did online dating, you know. Most important thing to women, I found this out during online dating, it's not money or having a good physique, it's height. 5'10" is the minimum height requirement in the dating world. If you're 5'9", you're like a genetic mistake, man. You're an unperson, okay? You check, that's the difference between 5'9" and 5'10", all right? That's the difference between family of 4 and table for 1. You know? And they're serious about it too, man. I've seen some ads say, you know, you better be honest about your height. I'll bring a tape measure. Cool, I'll bring a scale. I'll check your ID too to verify your age, right? Yeah. But the most obnoxious thing I've seen, and I see it often, taller than me in heels. I'm 5'2", 5'6" in heels, so you need to be 5'10". You know, and as soon as we get married, you're going to be wearing those heels when you're cleaning the house. You know, I just don't. I just came up with a theory. Height equals boobs. As important as boobs are to a guy, height is to a woman. You know, and if we talked about, you know, if we talked about boobs the way y'all talk about height, you call us pigs, you call us sexist, well, more so, right? But I'm going to tell you some personal ads. Just replace the word height with the word boobs, and you see what I mean. Somebody said, looks unimportant except height. Looks unimportant except boobs. Somebody write down, please be honest, I had a bad height experience. Oh, like what? You couldn't get on Splash Mountain, you know? It's like, whatever. You know, please have recent photos. I had a bad boob experience. Yeah. And then, you know, my favorite excuse, you know, the one, I like to look up when I kiss a guy. Take off the damn shoes before he kissed me then, you know? I don't know. It got so bad with online dating, I went to Colombia before the Secret Service went down there and fucked it up. Yeah. I didn't go down there looking for drugs and hookers. I went down there like to do the mail order bride thing. Now, people say, well, you must be desperate. I'm like, nah. Y'all would rather date guys with neck tattoos, you know, because they're taller than you in heels. I once saw a guy with a neck tattoo that said, fuck to yourself. Not go fuck yourself, not just fuck yourself, fuck to yourself, all right? That's a guy you want in this kind of economy, a guy who can handle a buck. You know, it's like I could picture him coming home to, you know, to his wife and, did you buy the baby's formula? No, but check it out. Fuck to yourself. Huh? I got a break on the price because he messed it up. You know, I guess it's badass in a Ralph Wiggum kind of way, you know. Me fail English? That's impossible. But I didn't quit dating because of all the failures and the frustrations. I quit because of these successes. I finally got somebody, you know, beautiful, tall, college graduate, 5'10". She was taller than me, flat-footed, so it's like I won. You know, I finally, you know, I found out she loves hockey. I love hockey, so we go to a Ducks game. You know, and I'm just saying, let's just survive the first date. Let's get to the second date, the hand over the broad date. You know, just as long as nothing bad happens, you know, we'll be cool. You guys ever hear the kiss cam? Yeah, that's that thing at sporting events where during the breaks they look out couples in the stands and you'll never guess who they spotted, right? And she, you know, so I go in for the kiss and she's like looking at me weird and backing away. So I like try again, you know, and she like goes Transformer on me. You know, her ass is in the seat but her head's up there like in the rafters somewhere. You know, and I'm like, no, they see we're on the scoreboard. See the kiss cam where it says kiss? You know, Gene Simmons and Ace Frehley ain't here. That's us, you know. And she just wasn't having it, you know. And I figured by now the camera would pan away, get somebody else who, you know, would actually kiss, but it just stays there and stays there and stays there. And the announcer starts making fun of me. Okay, kiss. Come on, kiss. Jackass, you're on the camera. Kiss. Should have went out with one shorter than you in heels. Kiss. You know. Oh, man. But like most dates you go on, 2 people know. Her and you. 3 if she tells one of her friends. 4 or 5 if you have to lie to a couple of your friends about what you told her friends, you know. Might happen live in front of 16,000 people, you know. It's like people complain to me about, I went on a shitty date. Did it end up on SportsCenter? Yeah. Did it end up in the box score? Because mine did. If you look at the write-up on NHL.com, that's what it says. Perry got the game-winning goal, Hiller made 31 saves, and this asshole didn't get kissed, you know. And, you know, I had a plan for this at the beginning. I said, you know, as soon as the kiss cam starts, I'm just going to go to the bathroom. Just going to excuse myself. But she was trying to take our picture. And I was like, oh, man, what are the odds? What are the odds? What are the odds? Sweet mother of fuck, for the first time in my life, I beat the odds, right? I couldn't have beat the odds a month ago when the lotto was at $600 million, you know. So I'm trying to seek some sympathy from my friends, call them, you know, and one of them says, hey, I got connections to the Ducks. You want the footage? Yeah, I got the footage, and I keep it in my phone. Because the next time somebody wants to go out with me, and I don't care how good looking they are, I'm going to play back that video and remind myself sometimes it's just better to go home, sit on your couch, eat Fritos, and fart, than just be hung out to dry in front of 16,000 people. Take care.
Darian Kagan, ladies and gentlemen, let him hear it. Darian, cock blocked by the kiss cam. You talk about heartbreak in sports. I always thought Bill Buckner, that was the most heartbreaking moment in sports, but that is a close second. My God. And he still has the footage on his phone. Still has the footage on it. That's got to be like just motivation anytime you go out on a date. Remember when Rocky was training to fight Ivan Drago and he put a picture of Drago in the bathroom and he just stared at it? That's what he's doing before every date. Don't let this shit happen again. Don't go to a sporting event. How's everybody doing so far? Good? Good time? All right, ladies and gentlemen. Are we ready for our first female of the evening? Huh? All right, here we go. Our first entry at the Ferris section. She's a very lovely lady, originally from Port Washington, way up north. She's coming down here to entertain you folks. Please welcome to the stage, Lisa Marks, everyone. Let her hear it. Lisa Marks, come on down. Billy Drew Carey. Here we go. Lisa Marks, everybody. Let her hear it.
Hey, guys. I'm Lisa. I'm one of the original teen moms. I come from a long line of firstborn women who became teen moms. You know you come from a line of young moms when your grandma can still breastfeed you. But you know, I wasn't 16 and pregnant, I was 15 and pregnant. My mom was 16 and pregnant. But you know, we're kind of progressing because my daughter was 17 when she had her daughter. But you know, now I feel like it's up to me to break the teen mom cycle, you know? So I told my little granddaughter, she was born a lesbian, and you know, I think it's working so far, because now she's saying she's gonna marry a princess. Aww. God, I'd love to see a lesbian in the family for once. But, so now I have grandkids. I guess I better get used to people calling me the G word. Gilf. But you know, when you're a kid of a teen mom, you learn things like, you learn how to hold your mom's hair back when she's drunk and puking after her senior prom. You learn never to tell on mommy for anything, or they'll come take you away to a scary foster home for bad kids, you know. And while other kids are born with a daddy, you get to help mommy choose your daddy. But you gotta go through a lot of daddies to find the right one. But you know, my mom worked really hard to have enough money to put me into ballet classes. And you know, I wasn't gonna let all that training go to waste. So when my daughter was little, I became a stripper. You know, and most of the girls at the club, they name themselves after exotic food or cars, like sushi, cherry, tiramisu, Mercedes, Porsche, oh yeah, Lamborghini, you know, but I wanted to be original. My stripper name was Sue, you know, and I wasn't one of those negative, drug-abusing, alcoholic strippers. I was a positive stripper, you know? I mean, I set out to make the world a better place, one lap dance at a time. Oh, sir, you need to take that frown and turn it upside down. But you know, I also wasn't one of those stereotypical strippers like, oh, I'm stripping to put myself through medical school. Please. I was stripping to put my husband through medical school. And you know, he's doing great now. He's a virologist at a great hospital. Just bought a new house. You know, super happy. Not with me, with his second wife. But you know, I was a first wife 3 times. And being the first wife is like being the firstborn. They try everything out on you, see what works, and then they do everything right the second time around. But you know, you just gotta stay positive, you know. I mean, that's sometimes hard, right? My mom was a strict Jehovah's Witness, which means growing up with no birthdays, you know, no birthday cake, no presents, no Christmas tree, no presents, no Halloween, no dressing up like the Wicked Witch or the Fairy Princess, you know. But luckily, I got to make up for all my lost Halloweens when I became a stripper. Naughty nurse, sexy French maid, zombie dominatrix, you know. I got to be them all. But you know, being, the worst thing about being a Jehovah's Witness is having to preach door to door. And my mom also sold Avon. She'd wake me up early. It's Soul Saving Saturday. Now, if we can't save their soul, well, we'll just pretty it up. But you know, I remember one time this big guy answered the door wearing only a towel. You know those guys with like the full carpet chest? But you know, my mom, she said the usual. Good morning, sir. Would you like to live forever in paradise? I've got a magazine that I'd like to show you called The Watchtower. And the guy's like, lady, I'd like to show you my watchtower. And he dropped his towel. But you know, my mom is a rock when she's on a mission, you know. She just looked at him and said, oh, sir, your watchtower has some chafing. I've got a great Avon moisturizer that can help you with that. Yeah, she sold 3 bottles. But so, I'm a vegetarian, but I'm not one of those preachy vegetarians, you know. I am not judgmental. Not like those bitchy vegans, huh? But you know, I'm treated like I am. Vegetarians are so unpopular. I mean, you show up at a party, it's like, oh my God, Lisa's here. Does anybody have any salad for Lisa? Was the salad by the chicken? Is there fish sauce in the Caesar dressing? I mean, vegetarians, they eat fish, right? Oh, nothing with a face or a mother. Listen, someone get her a carrot. Carrots don't have moms. But you guys are so quiet. There you go. But, you know, the worst thing is when they stop you right at the door. It's like, you know, Lisa, I cooked everything here. It's all got meat or meat juice in it. So there's no reason you should stay. And it hurts, you know? I'm like, listen, I'm a person. And you're a person, you know? And everybody here is a human being, and we are all part of the same human family. So, Grandma, let me into the family picnic. But, so, thank you. So, I'm a surrealist artist, and I draw cartoons, which means I smoke a lot of pot. And you know, I'm pretty excited because this year I got my medical marijuana license. Yay! Finally, legally creative. But you know, doctors don't just hand out medical marijuana licenses to anyone. You have to have a legitimate medical condition. You know, me, I was a passenger in a bad car accident. I was in a body cast, then a wheelchair, then a walker. It was some pretty heavy stuff. But apparently, there are a lot of different medical conditions that call for a medical marijuana license. So I'm at the medical marijuana license clinic, Happy Medical Clinic. You guys know the one on Melrose, right next to the Freak Chic Tattoo and Body Piercing Parlor. Its logo is a yellow smiley face wearing a nurse's hat with a big green cross on it. And the smiley face is winking. You know, I think that hat went with my naughty nurse costume. Anyway, so I'm in the waiting room, and I can hear the doctor in the back ask a patient, what medical condition do you have that you feel medical cannabis would help? And so I hear a man say, well, I'm getting married. So the doctor says, oh, well, high anxiety. Listen, we're going to bypass the 6-month license and put you on a year prescription. Now, does your fiance need a prescription too? So I'm sitting there in the waiting room in my wheelchair with a stack of paperwork from Cedars-Sinai Hospital, thinking, wow, this is the first license I have ever tried to get where I feel highly overqualified. But you guys know how every pot smoker has that one special bud buddy, you know, who loves bud as much as you do. You're like super close. You text each other every day at 4:20. Happy Blue Dream 420. Smiley face XO. And you text back, Happy Skywalker OG 420. Smiley face sideways heart. You know, and you guys are like on the same wavelength, you know. I mean, you can finish each other's sentences. She says, you know, marijuana is a gateway drug. And you say, a gateway to happiness. And you guys meet religiously every Saturday at your favorite medical marijuana dispensary, you know, to stock up on your meds for the week. We call it our soul-saving Saturday. You know, and if we can't save your soul, well, we are gonna be so high, we just don't care, man. Thanks, you guys.
Lisa Marks, everybody. Clap for the hottest fucking grandma I've ever seen in my entire life. That's a grandma. That's incredible. She, like Sarah Palin, used to be the hottest gilf any of us had ever seen, right? Not the smartest one, but the hottest one. Black guy, you know what I'm talking about, right? You see Sarah Palin, I got like a night with that and a Werther's Original in the morning afterwards. That's what I want. I'll tell you guys this quick story. I did a gig in Wasilla, Alaska. That's where Sarah Palin's from, and it's also the crystal meth capital of Alaska, if you're interested. And I go up to Alaska. I've never been to Alaska before, but it's so nice because, again, you guys know I'm from the South, right? So you want to see something you're familiar with. I went into my favorite Alaskan boutique. It's called CVS. And I'm in there, and I'm buying what I usually buy for a big weekend on the road. I buy a box of wine and the latest issue of Cat Fancy because I know how to fucking party on the road, right? And I'm in CVS. I'm not making this up. CVS in Alaska. I'm standing behind this gentleman, okay? And he's buying 3 items and 3 items only. I'm not making this up. This is on his to-buy list. He's buying a 24-pack of Pabst Blue Ribbon. Yeah, so you know he likes winners, right? He's buying beer, condoms, and a pregnancy test. The white trash sampler platter. How great is that to see in Alaska? And usually I don't like to mess with people in public. I'm like a pretty shy dude. But I walk right up to this guy, and I'm like, I got to know. In what order are you going to use these items? And then I was up there, and usually I'm pretty nervous when I talk to girls. Like in real life, I'm nervous. So if I see a hot girl I like I'll walk up to her and I'll give her a business card and then I'll get the hell out of there like I'm a frightened raccoon during daylight hours or something. But I see a girl, I'm at Starbucks writing, and I see this girl across the room, and I walk over to her and I ask her for her phone number. She gives it to me. Huge for one Mark Ellis, right? But then I have that next thing. What's the thing when you get a pretty girl's phone number, then you have that conundrum, right, guys? You know what I'm talking about. You get her phone number, how long do I wait? How long do you wait to call a hot chick? Is it 2 days? Is it 3 days? I called this young lady while I was still at Starbucks. I went right back down and I'm like, hey, bitch, you want a muffin or anything? I fixing to go here. And I texted her because I was like, hey, do you want to come to the show tonight? And she's like, I'd love to go. I'd love to go to the show, but she can't. Why? Because she has to take her mom to the movies. Yeah. Which, as we all know, that's hot girl code for I'm fucking a famous guy. That's what that means. It's very disappointing, man. Very, very disappointing. We're changing the tape right now, so I'm going to give you guys about another minute of fucking gold. You ever try online dating? Anybody? I didn't mean to look right at you. I'm like, hey, you, Match.com? Hell yeah. eHarmony, Adult Friend Finder, whatever you want to do. Craigslist for you, Flynn's Arcade. Actually, I did meet a girl on Craigslist. I met a cougar on Craigslist. She turned out to be 50 years old. Fuck yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Craig. But we're having a great time. We're talking music, and I told her I love Van Halen. Okay, that's my favorite band of all time. And she's like, "Oh my God, I love them. I saw them." And I'm like, "Hell yeah, you saw Van Halen." I'm like, "Wait. What year did you see Van Halen?" And she's like, "I saw them in 1980." Yeah. I'm like, 1980. I still had a tail, so I don't know if this is gonna work. It's a sperm joke, fuckers. If you can't get behind that. It's so much harder. Dating online, too, it's fun initially because it's life's fantasy camp. You can be whoever you want to be online, okay? No one's going on there to try and to find true love. We're going on there because we get to finally lie about shit that we couldn't before, right? Because the real stuff obviously ain't working. No one turns 18 and is like, sweet, I can finally get an eHarmony account. No one does that. You try the real shit, then you go online when that's not working. You think I'm telling the truth? I opened my account with a stolen credit card. You think I'm telling the truth when I got inside? No. I go on there, I put them interested in like hiking and mountain biking and gardening. Yes again, bitch. No. No guy's interested in any of that stuff, right? We just check off everything that we are willing to do to get laid. That's it. Because I guarantee you, girls, any guy in this room, we'd be happy to do any of that stuff one time. Like, what do you like to do for fun, kiddo? What do you like to do for fun? Hobbies? Yeah, they're things you do when you're not working. She dances. Okay, I love how every group of chicks has a fucking secretary, and it's never the one you're talking to. I guarantee if I asked her that question, she'd be like, she likes to dance, asshole. Leave her alone. See, dancing, that's a big problem for me. I'm not a good dancer. I don't have the right pigment for it, okay?
Try it once, yes.
Huh? I would try it once, and if you go online, I'm a fantastic dancer, okay? Because on Match.com, Dr. Mark Ellis, attorney at law, loves cutting a rug. We're happy to do any of that shit one time. We'll dance. We'll go hiking once, right, dude? Any guy in this room, we'll go hiking with you one time. And at the top of that mountain, there better be at least a hand job. You can find your own way home. All right. Are you guys ready to be a great audience for the second half of this show? Let's hear you guys. I just met this guy backstage. He's a really funny dude, and he lives on the border of Compton, so he should be able to relate to everyone in this crowd. Guys, please welcome my buddy, Mr. Laureano Gonzalez. Let him hear it, everyone.
How you doing, folks? Me too. So yes, I am Mexican. For all of you who were just assuming that I'm Mexican. Sorry, I don't have any motor oil on my hands right now. But I don't work on cars. I just park them. My cousins are taking over next door. I don't know if you met them, but they're really good guys. But it's tough being Mexican because when you're Mexican, you're just pushed to be Mexican. Like, you have to be Mexican. There's no way around it. There's no borders you can just hop to get out of it. I mean, I hate it. I don't really like it. I mean, I don't really like any culture in general. I'm not into it. But, I mean, there's just a lot of things that I don't identify with it. I'm just not Mexican enough. Like, I don't like kids. And the Mexican community has them. Like, they don't love them, they just have them. Like, they just have them. And, I mean, they just get it's just a thing that we do. I mean, it's a true story. I had an aunt who every year from about when I was 10 to 16 had a child. Just because it's a Mexican thing to do. It's her calling. It was all the guys calling her name at the bar. You know, that's what it was. I mean, yeah, I'm just not too into kids. I mean, I would get a vasectomy if I could right now. I mean, at this age. But there's a folktale that goes around that if you're Mexican and you get a vasectomy, it just won't work. Like, it won't work on you. Like, the Mexican sperm will just rebuild it for you. Like, they're waiting outside of a Home Depot on your balls. It's like, hey, look, something's broken. Let's go fix it. Let's get out of here. They're determined, I guess. But, yeah, I mean, I just don't identify. There's just a superstition. I mean, that's another thing. Mexicans tend to be really superstitious. Like, when I was a kid, my mom said that if I didn't go to sleep at a certain time, that there was a witch that was going to come in and kill me. This was my mother. My life was in her hands. And I tried to be like a smartass about it. I was like, well, can't God protect me? And she said, he sent her. I was like, I think you're right. And she's standing right in front of me. Jeez. But yeah, that's just a thing. I mean, the Mexicans are superstitious and really super religious. But it's almost like the superstitions take over the whole religion thing. It's really crazy. But, like, I'm an atheist. Like, I don't believe in God. I know. Mexican, yeah. A Mexican and an atheist? Some people don't believe I exist. But yeah, I mean, we would go to church every Sunday when I was growing up in Linwood. And, I mean, I was under the impression, and this is just me, but when we would go to church, I just thought they were all stories. Like, no one actually believed any of it. Not the case. Everything was very literal in church. It was really great. But I thought it was like going to the library and they read you, like, Clifford the Big Red Dog. Everybody knows there's no real big red dog. I mean, there's no Jesus. Who would actually do that to somebody? That sounds painful and so inhumane. Yeah, it's, I mean, being a Catholic was, I mean, it was just weird for me, I guess. That's one of the stereotypes I don't fit. I mean, 50% of the time, I can't stand being Mexican, and the other 50%, I'm asleep. Just like a lazy Mexican. I know, it's a thing with me. But I guess there are some stereotypes that I fit being Mexican. And, like, I'm lazy. For instance, I am a college dropout. I know, yeah. You know, it's a big thing in the Mexican community to not have a higher education. It's great. But I did go to college for 2 months, which is the longest I've ever sat in a parking lot. Just smoking cigarettes and listening to Pink Floyd's Animals, just hating my life and waiting to deteriorate. There's, yeah, and also one big stereotype that I do fit is that my father is in jail which is why, if you were wondering why I'm so disturbed, that's probably why. Yeah, it's, I mean, if you're Mexican and no one's gone to jail, something's not right there. It's just not. Like, there was a time where we started getting worried because we'd all get home. It's like, no one's gone to jail yet. What's going to happen? Someone's going to break a law at some point. We're going to go to jail. Which is, it's actually great. I went to go visit my father in jail about 2 weeks ago. And it was almost like a culture shock because we were the only Mexicans in the room. Like, the visiting room was full of white people. And that's one thing. Like, you white people really care that a loved one is in there. Isn't that strange? Like, you just care. Like, there was all these white like families sitting there, like, we're gonna make it through this. Don't worry. Daddy's coming home. It will all be better. And then we're the Mexicans, we're like, if we don't leave now, we're gonna hit traffic. And it's hot outside. I don't know if you've been, oh, you haven't been outside, I know, but it's hot. It's hot out there, trust me. But yeah, it was just a culture shock for me to actually see people caring. I mean, I like my dad. I mean, he's all right. I mean, he's probably the reason why I'm an atheist. Part of the reason. I mean, I grew up in Linwood, the city of no ambient light, and yeah, it's very hard to move around. And so he would send me outside to play at night because he didn't want me watching too much television, you know, rotting my brain or whatever. And he'd send me outside. It's really dark, so I could see the stars, and it was great. I was just looking up the stars, like, oh, there's no God. Oh, Jesus is just a myth. I'm a nihilist. Like, these are things. I was in first grade when this was going on. These aren't things I should have been thinking about until I was like 25, smoking DMT. That's when I should have been thinking about these things. But yeah, it's great. I mean, I suffer from depression a little bit, suicidal at times. But don't worry. I don't have it in me to actually kill myself. I just go to bed at night every night just hoping for those natural causes. Should be great. But yeah, I mean, I think part of the reason I'm depressed, man, is because anybody here live in apartments? Anybody here? I live in apartments too, and I think we can all agree on this one point. Doesn't it just seem like apartments are a really sick social experiment conducted in a think tank? Like, it's awful. Like, it's like, let's take all these awful people, put them in one place, separate them with thin walls so they can hear each other living, and let's see what happens. I mean, I know my neighbors way too well. I know that the guy next to me cries after he masturbates. I know that. Ow. I know that the lady above me, Susan, gets beaten by her husband. She shouldn't be touching the remote control. I try to tell her. I try to Morse code her. Stop touching that damn remote, Susan. I can't help you any longer. Yeah, but I mean, I can barely stand being Mexican. And I mean, I don't need to listen to some Jewish guy reading from the Torah every day, just in my ear. You know, some dead language I don't even know about. Think you're insulting me. I'm not sure. I'm going to go check. But yeah, I mean, it's okay. I know that sounds a little racist, the Jewish thing, but I'm a spick. It's okay. I can say it. That's like my N-word. That's the Hispanic community's N-word, is spick. But I mean, when I grew up, I've never really understood that though. It's like the whole N-word thing. It was separating people and stuff in society and violence and whatnot. But when I was a kid and I grew up in Linwood, all my friends were black. Like, we were just little kids playing around. And they said the N-word so much that I just thought it was the fifth Power Ranger. I just thought I was, you know, you got Justin, Billy, and then the N guy. He had a boombox, he danced, I don't know. But one day I asked him, I said, hey, what's that word you keep using, the N-word? And he said, oh, well, my father said it's a hate word that the white man has labeled us. It was this really intimate moment. And I said, well, I don't hate you. Could I use it? And he said, yeah, go ahead. All right. Well, we were all using it all over the playground. The N-word here, the N-word there. We didn't know what it meant, really. I mean, we hadn't grown up yet. That's what happened. We didn't give it power. But I mean, the spick, which is very derogatory, it just doesn't have the same power as the N-word. It just doesn't, like, my friends will use spick and just goof on me with it. It'd be like, hey, spick, what, you spicking around today? They just take it differently. Like, you go to soccer games? Are you a spectator? Huh? Hey, I hear Fidel Castro's an evil spectator. How about that? Huh? Huh? Hey, when you go to church, do you pray in the name of the Father, the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spigot? Huh? Huh? Like, no, I'm an atheist. Why would I do that? That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, thanks, guys. That's my time.
Laureano Gonzalez, let him hear it, everyone. Laureano. Mexican guy wearing plaid. It's like Pearl Jam meets Los Lobos. That is fun to watch. Everybody having a good time so far? All right, we are bringing another very, very lovely female to the stage. She is from Los Angeles or another planet, and her spaceship is here for the evening. Please welcome the very talented Heather Fox. Let her hear it, everyone.
Hi, everybody. How's it going? So, yeah, I'm from Los Angeles. And people always say to me, wow, you don't look like you're from LA. And I'm like, what does someone from LA look like? Please tell me. But could you hurry up, because I'm late for my boob job appointment. Also, I got to get to the tanning salon. What? There was a deal on Groupon. So are there any sports fans in the audience? Okay, good, good. Glad we got that over with. I hate sports. I do. I hate watching them. Excuse me, let me move this. I hate playing them. I don't like balls flying at my face. I do watch soccer, though. But that's only because they wear those cute little shorts. And then when they win, they all take them off and dance around in a circle. Maybe if they played football naked, I'd watch. Maybe. Oh, this is nice. You guys are all paying attention. I'm not used to that, because I'm married. Now, when you're married, I think it's really important to not bring your work home with you. But that's hard, because I'm a substitute teacher, which basically, wow, thanks. Which basically means I tell kids to shut the fuck up for a living. So sometimes I forget, and I talk to my husband like he's a teenager. Why are you late? Pull up your pants. Don't make me call your mother. No, I will not have sex with you. Stop asking. Now, being a substitute's hard. It's really hard. Because kids aren't afraid of anything anymore, which makes it really hard to punish them. So what I like to do is I like to make them sit down and talk to me. They hate that. So does my husband, apparently. I made a kid cry the other day. Don't worry, it happens all the time. No, he was being a jerk, so I took him aside and I was like, what's wrong with you? And he started crying. And then I started crying. It's kind of like when someone vomits and then you want to vomit too. No, these kids are so messed up. And they ask me the most inappropriate questions. The question I'm asked the most is, hey, miss, do you smoke weed? And I'm like, oh, you mean today? Miss, hey, miss. They don't even have, they're too lazy to say my full name, Miss Fox. Too many syllables, I guess. Also, they can't read. No. So, my mom sent me this email the other day that said, I'm so glad you're not a teenager anymore. With a link to it. Teenagers hospitalized after getting drunk on hand sanitizer. Did you hear about this? And I wrote back, why? Because smoking crack with a homeless man when you're 14 is so much better? Not me, my friend. What was I gonna say next? I forgot. You guys are too awesome. You guys are too awesome. You know, even the teachers are all on drugs these days. I just covered for a teacher who was fired because he went home and got high, freaked out, called 911. When the cops showed up, he pointed a gun at them. That's a felony, by the way, in case you didn't know. I didn't. And then there's the teacher who coached me on how to drive drunk and not get caught, and then she gave me her drug dealer's number. She teaches special ed. Do you think that has something to do with it? My favorite, though, is the teacher who's addicted to prescription drugs. She likes to share them with me. Don't worry, they keep her in the basement. True story. Is anyone else worried about Johnny Depp? I feel like he's actually turning into a Tim Burton character. Everyone's depressed. Loriana wants to kill himself. Is anybody here on antidepressants? Yeah? Yeah? What about you, sir? Are you on anything? Oh, you sure? You look pretty happy. No. What are you taking, Celexa? Oh, I'm on Wellbutrin. How do you like it? I was at IKEA the other day, and these two girls, one of them said to the other, "Oh my God, you're on Lexapro too? We're twinsies." I wanted to turn around and say, "I heard Lexapro makes you fat." I like to do that. I like to butt in when people talk about really private stuff in public. No, please, tell me more about your boyfriend's hairy balls. I don't remember what I was going to say next now. Hairy balls, antidepressants. Where was I going with that? Oh, yeah, I was depressed for a long time. I was on Prozac for years. But then I took a bunch of ecstasy, and that cured me. Now when I feel sad, I just crank up the trance music and wave around a glow stick, and I feel better. If that doesn't work, I'll just drink some hand sanitizer. What kind was it, do you think? Do you think it was the smelly good kind or the regular? And who thought up this idea? What kid was in science class and was like, "I'm just gonna cut this with some salt, and then we can drink it and get wasted"? As far as I remember, getting booze in high school is not that difficult. Just come to me, I'll help you out. Oh. What's next? What's next? What's next? God, you guys are so beautiful. You're making me forget all of my jokes. I don't know what's happening in my brain right now. No. My husband wants to name our kid Violence. He says, "But it's such a pretty word." It is, isn't it? No. No. It didn't work at all. It's because I didn't say the first part. It's fine. It's fine. It's all good. So I want to have kids. I do. I really, really do. But I'm so scared. I'm scared because I don't think that there's any way I could ever love anything more than I love my cat. I'm so afraid my husband's going to come home and I'm going to be breastfeeding the cat and the baby's going to be on the floor eating cat food. I'm going to accidentally put him in the litter box. That's not where he goes. I'm going to pet him like this. Little baby. I will name her Kitty. No, I do want to have kids, but I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Plus, I have way too much TV to watch. Way too much. I have this new favorite show. It's called Wicked Tuna. Have you heard of it? No? Yeah. It's okay. It's not about badass vaginas. Settle down, you. No, it's a show. It's about a bunch of New England tuna fishermen. It's awesome. They're like, "Yeah, you stole my anchor, and I haven't caught a fish all week, and damn you, tuna." I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm like, "Please let Vinny catch a fish. He needs to feed his family." It's great. I think I like it because it's not one of those shows about a bunch of fake chicks fighting about dresses and money and shit. Fucking Real Housewives, Bridezillas, platinum weddings, fuck my dress, underwear swap, vagina wars. I don't get it. I do, however, love to watch women in real life. That sounded dirty. No, I love watching women in inappropriate heels. Ladies, you know you all have that one friend. If you don't know who it is, it's you. She's the one who walks into the party in her 5-inch heels. And all the other girls are like, what the fuck is that whore wearing? I didn't realize it was dressed like a prostitute day, fucking skank. And she's all, oh my God, I look so fucking hot in my Jimmy Choo shoes. Every guy here wants to fuck me. Wait, is this a children's birthday party? Ugh. No, that show should be called Wicked Tuna. That's it, I'm Heather Fox. Thank you guys.
Heather Fox, ladies and gentlemen, let her hear it. Wicked Tuna, that is a wicked hot piece of ass. Am I right, everybody? Okay. We have 3 fantastic performers left. By a round of applause, you guys hanging in there? Huh? Make some noise. Let's hear you. All right, everyone. We have a young man that is coming to the stage. He also hails from Los Angeles originally. We have a lot of locals here tonight, but it's nice to know that he's not a vampire yet. Guys, please welcome the very funny Spencer Gilbert, everyone. Let him hear it.
What up? Is there a gayer name for a tougher drink than moonshine? What southerner was like, well, we got this alcohol in this tub, and if you drink enough of it, you'll go blind. Should we call it a sister fucker? What do you think, Geach? And Geach was like, let's call it moonshine. Man, it is terrifying to be up here, by the way. I mean, it was always a dream of mine to do stand-up, but it's occurring to me now that it's not. That was a really dumb dream to have. Like, I guess the dream was to be done with my set, and you guys are like laughing and applauding, and the girls are like, that was so funny, the moonshine thing, do me. Like, this part is just hard and weird. That's true about everything, though, right? Like, reality never lives up to your dreams. In fact, that's the lesson tonight. Don't follow your dreams. So what I did was my bucket list, I made it of the actual dreams that I have while I'm asleep. Like, number 1 on my bucket list is to get chased down a never-ending hallway by Steve Buscemi. It's probably not going to happen. Oh, number 2 is to be interviewed by Jon Stewart on The Daily Show, but then he turns into my high school vice principal, Mr. Phelps, and then all my teeth fall out. Yeah. Again, not going to happen. But sometimes things are the other way around. Like, you're really afraid of them, they keep you up at night, and then you try it, and it's like, not that bad. Like putting things in your butt. Guys, hear me out. It's not gay. I looked it up in the dictionary. First definition of gay, happy. No. Okay? Definition number 2, attracted to members of the same sex. Again, no. I love women. I think they're beautiful. Men, myself included, are repulsive. There is no definition 3 that says you can't break your own behymen. Okay? It's just not in there. I checked. It is 2012, guys. I want you all to go home alone with the partner and hit that butt clit. Hit it. Hit it tonight. Hit it good. My parents are divorced. Yeah, your parents are divorced. Say, "Aw." And the thing with divorced parents, you probably all gotten that talk at some point where they sit you down and they're like, yeah, mommy and daddy are splitting up, but we want you to know that it's not your fault, okay? It's not your fault. It's not your fault. The old Good Will Hunting move. And of course it's not your fucking fault. Unless you're really ugly, it's not the kid's fault. Really, the question is, I was having a childhood and you ruined it, so what's gonna happen to you guys now? And apparently what happens is they get condos and fuck people your age. That's the punishment? And my dad, since the divorce, he's been Benjamin Button reverse aging his way through life. And he's down to about 17 years old now, which is a bad look for a 65-year-old. He's wearing skinny jeans, he's listening to hip hop. He's asking me for girl advice, which is a terrible idea. I mean, he watched me grow up. He knows I was not getting laid. He never gave me the talk. So my first few times, I was like a kid that didn't study for his geometry quiz, and I was just guessing at angles, like trying to fit, like a guy trying to plug something into an outlet he couldn't see. So he like uses your fingers first and like, okay, that's hole 1, hole 2. Now I got the plug and let there be light. So now I know how things are supposed to end up positionally. You know, I know a date's supposed to end in penetration, but I just have to work backwards from there, like a Jewy version of Memento. And, you know, so I've had some really fucking bad dates. And you're like, yeah, I've had bad dates too, you know. We once went out and the conversation was quite stilted. I killed a girl's dog, okay? Well, almost. Really, I was an accessory to attempted dog murder. What we did was I took this girl and her dog on a hike to a secluded clearing where I could maybe have a picnic and put elements of myself into her things. And the dog gets bit on the face by a rattlesnake. And she's freaking out, and the dog is looking more and more like Mickey Rourke by the second. So it's we run to the car, take it to the vet, take it to the hospital, gets its shot, gets the anti-venom. The vet takes me aside and he's like, so the vet bill and the anti-venom, that's gonna be $850. I mean, I'm not broke, but I am Jewish. So I go to the waiting room and I'm like, Melissa, I parked in an hour spot and I really got to put change in the meter and I got the fuck out of there. Side note to that story, if you're poor and get bit by a rattlesnake, I guess you just die. USA. Yeah, but I mean, I'm not hopeless. Like, there's people that I've seen done worse than me. Like, I saw this guy hit on a deaf girl in line at Starbucks a few days ago. It was awesome. He taps her on the shoulder, and he has the perfect opening line for the hearing impaired. He's like, hey, the music in Starbucks sucks. And she replies in sign language and deaf voice, like, sorry, I'm deaf. And he does the gentlemanly thing, which is to push on. And he did that thing where if you're ordering in a foreign restaurant and they don't understand you the first time, you repeat yourself in their accent. Like, if you're like, I'd like the tuna tataki. Sorry? Oh, I'd like the tuna tataki, please. Like, that makes it any more comprehensible to them. He did that with sign language. So, remember, he said, the music in Starbucks sucks. He goes, she looks him dead in the eye and says, hey, asshole, I can weed whips. Thanks, guys. You've been great.
Spencer Gilbert, ladies and gentlemen. That was the chick that I hit on at Starbucks, too. That brings back the earlier story. She was deaf. That's why she didn't go out with me. Hi, ladies. How are you? Everybody hanging in there? Doing good? Huh? 2 comedians left, and this next young lady I'm bringing to the stage has done a number of professional gigs under her belt. She's actually a seasoned improv actress. You've probably seen her at Olympic West, or she's actually been on this stage before doing improv as well. You may have also seen her at the Comedy Store. Guys, please welcome Miss Janelle Gleason. Let her hear it, everyone.
How's everybody doing tonight? Ow! This mic's bigger than my beer. So, contrary to public opinion, I did not just come from a wedding or from prom. This is not a special occasion for me. When I box, when I go to the gun range, I wear this outfit. I may not exactly wear these shoes. I'd wear something more appropriate, like 3-inch foam platform wedges. I'm not gonna wear gym shoes. There's no point in roughing it. We're not having an apocalypse, so there's no point. As you can see, I put the C in Caucasian, and ironically, I live on the corner of ghetto and socks. But it's okay, because I found a place large enough to house all my flowers. I have one to match each of my dresses, and future dresses to come. My mom, she dressed me up as a child once. Oh, dressed me up in pants once when I was a child, and I swore never again. However, I did give my staff a really good Christmas gift this year, and I wore jeans for them. They in turn bought me Xanax and a flask that said for work use only. So, I'm quality assurance manager for a weight loss clinic, and everybody there is fucking obese. It's like an unsexy Grey's Anatomy, and I would be more than happy to cut a check to get every single fucking person spayed and neutered. These people are endangering the human race, and we really need to put a fucking stop to it. I mean, there's a reason some people get phone jobs. They're just not suitable for the fucking public eye. But management, as you can imagine, comes with its own set of issues. I have most of my employees actually freely express themselves to me every day with no type of filter or proper office etiquette whatsoever. I'll get texts at like 11 p.m. on a Sunday night from Ruthie G that say things like, yeah, just out of respect for you, I wanted to let you know that Monday I'm checking Farrah. She is tripping and warrants a beatdown, okay? Okay, go ahead. And then when you come in the morning, they come to you with such lovely issues, such as, Miss Quality Control Manager, can you talk to Rosa about her body odor? It is wicked. Ruthie G, is that a serious question? Yes, Miss Quality Control Manager, it is foul. And if I have to sit up here smelling that dirty, blown out vagina, I'm gonna die. I already told you there's some stuff baking in her fuzzy oven. Okay, so Ruthie G, since it would be inappropriate for me to pull her aside and Febreze her down or just use the fire hose, why don't you make me a list of ways that would make her hygiene more tolerable in the workplace? So Ruthie G made me a fucking list. Are you ready for it? Okay, item 1, wipe your ass. Okay. Item number 2, use deodorant. Understandable. Item number 3, make sure you don't smell like hot cock and stinky feet. Item number 4, check yourself or I'm gonna get my stick and pocket. Okay. The best part about this situation is this is the second employee she's complained to me about with the exact same issue. Another staff member I have, Dexter, told me that he has psychic powers. So at that point, I thought he for sure had a little mental retardation or was just fucking with me until he told me that his psychic power was that he could sense when women are riding the cotton pony. Also known as menstruating to everyone else in the world, but it makes him physically ill and he thinks it smells like billy goat parts. So he'll sniff it out and then want me to confirm. Janelle, it's her. Like I'm supposed to fucking go up to someone and be like, hi, Ashley, are you bleeding today? Yeah? Get the fuck out of here. Like, so I'm thinking if we can hook up Ruthie G and Dexter, those two would make quite the pair. I'm talking better than the fucking Dare drug dogs. But then, just to be a bitch, I decided to move Dexter into the aisle with Smelly Vajayjay Girl. And he is so turned off by women that he is now thinking about getting a real doll. Okay, so did anyone see the documentary on BBC America called Love Me, Love My Doll? Okay, so it's a group of men who have fallen in love with their life-size dolls called real dolls. And for about $25,000, they customize these dolls from super old to pregnant. They get the carpet to match the drapes, if you know what I'm saying. And they have relationships with their fucking life-size dolls. But the best part about this documentary was this one redneck who was featured, and he owned several real dolls. So clearly he's some type of polygamous Mormon. And after he applies the makeup and dresses the dolls every single day, it's apparently a lot of work for him. So then he needs to go into the room adjacent to him and clean his room entirely filled with guns. Okay, so all I'm gonna say is that fucking house next to the redneck is a fucking prime piece of real estate. You never know who your sexy neighbor is, but the good news is the redneck only leaves the house once a month in order to get supplies. So the other 29 days out of the month, you guys are pretty safe to leave your house. Yeah, so I am recently divorced. Yeah. Woo! Happily divorced. Bought a new flower. And when I was married, my husband decided to buy a scooter. Yeah, not a Vespa, but a fucking scooter. And a $300 matching helmet, and a jumpsuit so he wouldn't get his pants wet in the robust rain of California. So I did what every other self-respecting woman in the world would do and started dating someone else. Do you know that there's a special test you have to take in order to ride a scooter? If you fail, they give you the answers and you get to take the exact same test over and over and over again. He fucking failed 3 times. So when I divorced him and his scooter, he relocated and wasn't able to find a job. So at 30 years old, he decided to join the Air National Guard. Okay, you gotta be fucking kidding me. You can't pass a scooter test, but you can fucking go fight for our country? Who is our fucking HR department who's hiring for the armed forces? Because we're fucked and we all need to move to France because this is some rough shit. But I have to say, I do love being in the dating world again. I'm a big fan of being manhandled. And as you can imagine, I attract a lot of crazy men. Yeah. So, basically, there are some prerequisites in order to date me. You guys ready? Yeah. Okay. Number 1. You cannot carry a backpack. I don't care if that backpack is filled with cash, stocks, sex toys, bondage, diamonds. You're still not fucking getting me in that backpack, so you just need to lose it. Number 2, you cannot molest your wine glass. It is not fucking sexy to be on a date with someone who is just molesting their wine glass while talking about the long legs of the wine. Fucking talk about my legs, not the legs of the wine. This is fucking creeping me out. Nobody wants to be on this date. It's rough. Number 3, you cannot use the words baby mama. It is the equivalent of presenting me with a framed copy of your GED. Don't fucking do it. It's awful. Number 4, do not send poetry of any kind at all. Number 5, do not tell me that I look like your first and second wives. First of all, that does not entice me to become your third wife, and furthermore, I'm pretty sure that you are married to or related to either Drew or Scott Peterson, and I would end up in a body bag followed by the production of a Lifetime movie. I'm not interested. No, thank you. Number 6, do not tell me that you are going to pay $18,374 a month to have me as your girlfriend. Just fucking tell me that you're bad in bed. We'll just blanket it at that. Call it a day. And most importantly, number 7, do not overflow my box. You do not overflow a girl's box. Voicemail box, text message box, inbox, fucking beeper box, BBM, carrier pigeon box, recycling box, any box. I don't give a shit. Don't stuff it at all. You look like a box stuffer. Don't do it. I have a stalker and he totally stuffs my box. He sends me like 30 to 50 texts or poems a day. He matches his shirts to the color of my flower. Sends me half birthday gifts. But now he's graduated to an all-time new low of videos. Yeah. Okay, so he sent me 2 videos, because, you know, one's not creepy enough. So he sent me 2 videos of the Chippendales doing a music video. But what's so great about this is that he actually removed the heads of the Chippendales and filled them with the heads of Tony Soprano, The Godfather, Elvis, James Dean, Wentworth Miller from Prison Break, and himself dancing along to the 90s soundtrack of When I Dip, You Dip, We Dip. I'm so over this shit, I'm just gonna have Ruthie G get her stick and just knock that shit out and be done with it. However, I can't take dating advice from my friends either, because they tend to get put in more fucked up situations than I do. My friend Valerie keeps telling me that she accidentally keeps sleeping with Mexicans. So I asked her, you know, how she didn't know that a series of Juan Valdez's were Mexican, and she told me that it was because they were engineers. So apparently there's some restriction program for Mexicans who want to become engineers. They're just not allowed to do it. It's not happening. Another friend of mine, Kate, she has more of a serious problem that we all need to put our heads together to kind of address. Condoms are falling off inside her, and they're just staying up there. So either we have to assume that her vagina is like really, really big, otherwise she's got a fucking tornado up there that just fucking sucks them up. Either way, I told her if she doesn't get that shit under control and duct tape it down, I'm gonna have Ruthie G get her stick in. Paka! You guys have been a fantastic audience. Thank you so much.
Keep it going for Janelle Gleason, ladies and gentlemen. Janelle Gleason. I love that imagery. Malibu Barbie drinking a beer. It's like a hot chicken at any Money concert. There's not many of them, but when you see one, you hang on to them, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we're at that point of the evening. Are you guys ready for your closer of the night, your de facto headliner? You guys have been a great crowd thus far. Let's keep it going for 8 more minutes. Please welcome a young man who has been seen on such shows as Community and TNT's Franklin and Bash, Mr. Boxy Sellers, ladies and gentlemen. Let him hear it.
Good evening. How are we? You guys stayed for the end. Thanks. I'm Fox E. Sellers. I usually get 1 of 3 responses when I introduce myself. First, I introduced myself to Mark earlier, and he said, "That name is awesome." I like that. Second, people make like little or no notice of my preposterous forename. But the third are usually these douchebags. They'll say something along the lines of, "I can't call you Foxy. That's fucking gay." Oh, thank you. I'm sorry if my name threatens your masculinity in some way. Just go ahead and call me fucking gay. If it makes you feel any better, if it makes you feel more like a man, just call me fucking gay. My name is a douchebag detector. I wish it was a little more of a slutbag detector. I could go by Big Fucks. Hi, I'm Big Fucks. Hello. For the most part, I'm misunderstood. I have a friend with kids, and I said to him, "Your daughter is really cute. It would be a shame if anything happened to her." And he got kind of pissed off, which I think he missed my point. I said it would be a shame. Pay attention to the words I've selected, will you? It's not really fair that we're not friends anymore just because I'm socially retarded. You can't collect disability for being socially retarded, but I have this thing where there's no filter from my brain and my mouth. Just think of how difficult life would be if you could only think out loud. You'd end up telling a lot of people you want to fuck them. I'd be in a relationship if I could just keep my mouth shut. Now, there's a girl that said to me, "How is it that you're still single?" Great question. So I asked her out. She said no. You see how that works? It's so irritating, the people that ask you that question. They don't really want to date you. They think they're just paying you some sort of compliment. I like to see it backfire on them. I'll ask them out, or even better yet, I'll just grab them and start making out with them. You want to know why I'm single? I'm a really good kisser. I used to be a reverend. I wasn't the type of reverend you'd guess. I wasn't black. I claimed to be half Jewish. And that's only because I half believed Jesus never existed. Becoming a reverend's a lot like getting your PhD in fake history. Nothing on that one. What are you all, reverend? What I did was my talents lied in helping people, and not to sound too trite, but help people manifest their destiny. And someone said to me, "Why don't you manifest yourself some money?" And I did. What I do is I'd hold these money manifestation meditations. And people would pay to come to these meditations, and I'd help manifest wealth into their lives. I didn't check up on anybody. Oh, I got money. Worked for me. Thanks for paying to come to my meeting. I wasn't really a good reverend. I found I didn't really want to help people. Is that bad? I also liked judging. Not like in a way that like labels people as good or evil. I don't really believe in good or evil. Perception is this wardrobe I can change from day to day. Just ask Hitler's mom. She'll tell you perception. She'll probably like describe it in some sort of fashion that is followed by some anti-Semitic comment. But I'm divorced, which means I was married. I like how I get less of a clap or a cheer for married than I do divorced. Which is it? Divorced? Yeah. Married? You guys are a split crowd. I was married for 3 months. You could say I went to Jared just to use her bathroom. I beat Kim Kardashian by 14 days. I should have seen the signs even before I said I do. I remember the court magistrate that married us was this pale little elderly cadaverous-looking little witch. We had these beady little red eyes that were lit from like the fires of hell.
Do you take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife? To have and to hold till her death do you part?
Can I change my answer to maybe? That should have scared the matrimony right out of me. You'd assume because I was only married for 3 months that I can't commit, but I went through a 3-year divorce, and I was committed to that divorce. I was going to see that all the way through. I love these people that say, "Oh, I knew the moment I set eyes on him, I wanted to spend the rest of my life with him." You're probably wrong. He's either not going to call you back, you two are going to get together, someone's going to break someone's heart, or you're one of those lucky few that's going to get married and there's a 50% chance you're going to get a divorce. No one talks about the moment they knew they wanted to get a divorce. Oh, I knew. I knew as soon as she started fucking so-and-so, I wanted to divorce her. We spend like $1.8 billion on divorce each year. And that the credit mostly goes towards the attorneys in this country. Now, I'm not going to get up here and like bash attorneys as these dirty scumbag, scum-sucking, rat-fink whatevers. Not all lawyers are like this. There are honest and decent lawyers out there. Trust me, I fired 2 of them. Hers were not one of those. When they got through with me, I owed $45,000 to her, $25,000 to the attorneys, throw in the cost of the ring, $75,000. Yeah, For 3 months, that's an expensive vagina. That's almost $1,000 a day. You can get a hooker for $1,000 a day, a really good hooker, and get a lot more use out of her. Give her a couple days off. You got money in the pocket to spare. You're going out in the town. Her family spent just shy of about $160,000. Yeah, do the math. My dick is worth over $2,000 a day. Imagine, if you will, diamonds up and down the shaft and 2 big sacks of gold, pissing champagne. Oh, what a marriage. The positive from all this is we have a 4-year-old son. Now, I don't really get to see him. She took him to Texas. But I did recently get to see him. And because he's only around women, I was given a job. And my job was to teach him how to pee standing up. Which I figure, how hard can that be? He can stand, he can pee. I'm just going to put the two together, and we'll just figure this whole thing out. So I pick him up, we go out. And does anybody know what car wood is? You know what morning wood is, right? This is what happens from the vibration of the car vehicle sometimes. Not all the time, just sometimes. And I didn't know a 4-year-old could get a boner, but we get out of the car, and he's like, "Daddy, my pee-pee's growing." Yeah, it is. I'm proud of you. So we go into this restaurant, and he doesn't have to pee, but I have to pee. So I'm like, I'll show him how to pee. So he's staring at my dick, and he's like, "Daddy, your pee-pee's really big." It doesn't matter the scenario. No guy gets sick of hearing that at all. But I had forgotten in hindsight that kids repeat everything they hear or say. And I don't know how I was going to explain to his mom when he says, "Mommy, my pee-pee was growing today, and Daddy's was really big." And she's going to know he was telling the truth, because she's seen it, and she paid $2,000 a day for it. I have a racist brother. Yeah. No claps for that. I have a racist brother. He refers to his best friend's girlfriend, who he hates, bear in mind, as Gookie Gook. I don't even know what her name is. I only know her as Gookie Gook. And he sends me a text. I don't know if that makes me adjacent to racist or just really racist. But he sends me a text the other day, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm out with Brian and Gookie Gook." I look at the text, and I'm like, "Is that how you spell gook?" It's my only thought. I didn't know if it had a Q in it or how many O's or what. But I called him on it the next day, and I'm like, "Dude, really? Is that?" He's like, "Trust me, I know." Are you really admitting to being a racist spell check? I had a sex dream about a Muppet. It wasn't even, this is getting a little uncomfortable, right? I had a sex dream about a Muppet. It wasn't even like one of the main dudes. It was Waldorf. Now, yeah, go ahead and make all these like eyes that judge me as if I'm a pedophile or something, but in all fairness, I watched the Muppets through my whole childhood. I'm entitled to these fantasies. Waldorf is an old man, so it's not pedophilia. If anything, it's not even bestiality, it's suckatory rape. We masturbate into a sock our whole adolescence, but I add eyeballs to it. All of a sudden, it gets a little creepy. Hi ho. Hey, what are you doing? That's a hands-only hole. Before I was sexually experienced, I would imagine the hamburger helper glove. Think about it. It's a hand with a mouth on it. Guys, think of all the things that you could do with it. Girls, think of all the things you could do with it. It's a multi-gender tool. Could very possibly well be the most popular item in the Adam and Eve catalog. Only finger puppet sounds not so friendly when you tell people that finger is a verb. All right, I'll leave you with this. Just once, I'd like to see Curiosity rape the cat. Don't kill it. just rape it a little. There's a friend of mine who's a little on the fence about my sense of humor, and I went to tell her that joke when I wrote it, and she's like, I don't know if I want to hear it. Let me guess. It's about rape. Yeah, kind of is. Is there an animal in it? Yeah, there is. Now, if you think about it, and you watch animals having sex, they all look like they're getting raped. Just watch Animal Planet for like 20 minutes. The only thing is, though, that's rape with narration, which is way worse. The larger male hyena is about to mount the female hyena. She's trying to get away. He's cornered her. Oh, looks like she's running into the... Oh, no, wait, he's in her. Her only option left is to become submissive. Little does she know, she's about to be the proud mother of cubs. You guys have been awesome. Yeah. I'm Foxy Sellers. Thank you, everybody.
Foxy Sellers, ladies and gentlemen, let him hear it. Let that tall white bastard hear it, guys. How about a round of applause for you, the audience, for being such a very supportive, great crowd, very nice. They're never going to have as good of a stand-up experience again because it only gets harder for like 10 years. They're going to remember you guys very, very fondly. And just to make sure we seal the deal, how about you guys welcome all the performers that you guys have seen tonight back on stage for an encore. Let all of them hear it. If you're in the crowd, come on up here. Come on up here, guys. There we go. Throw roses if you got them. Most of them willing to take phone numbers. A lot of them single here tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, now that all the performers are back on the stage, I'd like to welcome the Gandalf of comedy, the sexy Yoda of teaching stand-up, the one, the only, one of my best friends, Miss Jodi Miller, ladies and gentlemen. Let her hear it.
Keep it going for Mark Ellis, guys. Come on. And please keep it going for all these comics on the stage, and for Chip Darnell in the back, and for the Acme Theater. And my name is Jodi Miller. Thank you guys so much for coming out. We really appreciate it. You can go next door and get wasted.
Let's go. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us at the Famous ACME Comedy Hollywood for tonight's stand-up comedy workshop graduation show.